welcome to another episode of Shock the System. Gotta love that intro. Like I say it every vid. This one's about how people can be manipulative, backstabbing, people that like to play mind games, people that like to break people's hearts, people that like to cheat, people that like to use people. So this video is about that. I warn you now, language is not very appropriate in this vid. If you have children or you don't like bad language, I suggest you look away now. Okay, now we get into business. Let's start off with cheaters. The subject of cheating, unfortunately, is a thing that happens to everybody in life, and it's disgusting how people can cheat on people. People say, oh, but it's mostly guys that do it, or it's mostly girls. It's pretty actually equal if you look at the numbers, but most of the time it is a girl that cheats on the guy. And this is the reasons why. A girl will not stay with the guy for three reasons. If he's a bum and unemployed, if he can't drive her around, if he's bossy, if he doesn't like having male friends, and if he's not satisfying her in the bedroom. Now, a girl will use the excuse, I didn't mean to cheat, but I cheated because you weren't doing this right, or you weren't doing this right. It's a cop-out, because if a girl is willing to cheat, then she doesn't love you or respect you. And seriously, if you're a guy, don't take her back. Especially the more attractive, good-looking girls will cheat because they think they're God's gift to men, and they will flaunt their body, and they will go out and... Seriously, if you're a guy and you have a good-looking girlfriend, you leave her alone and things are rough, she's going to cheat on you. And I'm being honest. And it's sad reality that girls do that, but that's what happens. And to not play favourites here, if you're a girl and you've got a good looking boyfriend and you know he's going out partying, he's probably cheating on you too. Because in a relationship, the whole excuse is looks do matter. And if you don't fit your partner's description in looks, or you're not their type, you're probably going to get cheated on. Sad to say. I've experienced that myself. I'm not a very attractive person, and I'm happy to admit that. But the main thing is, if you are in a relationship, whether you're male or female, and you're not happy, do the right thing. Don't string them along. Just end the relationship. Because you deserve to be happy, and they deserve to be happy. And give them a chance to go find someone, maybe their type of person. Also on the subject of the using thing. Don't be with someone to leech off them. Don't be with someone just because they've got, to say if you're a girl, don't be with a guy just because he's got a flashy car and he buys you everything. Don't be with a guy if he does everything and you do nothing. In a relationship, if you're with someone, both parties have to pull their weight, and if they don't, it's not going to work out. So if one person's buying all the stuff and the other person's not doing anything, that's not love. That's just being used. And unfortunately, even if you're not in a relationship, there's girls that are out there that go out and target nice guys. They pretend to befriend them. They pretend to be nice to them. They treat them like they're toys. And then once the toy gets broken, or they're bored with it, they move on to the next bloke. And unfortunately, this has happened to me too in the past. That because I'm a nice guy and I like to give, I don't get back what I give. And I know one girl in particular, she'll literally flaunt her body to lure guys in, and that's when she hooks them in, reels them in. She plays with them. She says she's going to meet up with them, but never does. And these guys, that fall under her trap. Unfortunately, the sad reality is, because she's a good-looking girl, they're hooked. And because they're not a good-looking bloke, they think, oh, this good-looking girl's finally talking to a guy like me. They pour their heart and emotion out. The girl keeps it, using it as a bait, and then bang, she'll kill it. She'll cut the fish's head off, basically. So women that do that to guys, it's disgusting. I don't like girls that say, oh, let's catch up or something, and they say they're free whenever, but when they say, oh, let's meet up today, well, today means, you know, from certain time, and then the halfway through the day they're like, oh, we're still catching up. The girl will go, yeah, later on tonight, and then when it comes to it, they don't meet up, and then the excuses come in. They use their excuse that they've got kids. They use the excuse that something came up. They use the excuse that health issues or something. They always come up with some excuse, and the guy has spent all day making an effort to see this person, and then it's like, what a waste of time. In fact, I'll give you an example of something really disgusting. That couple of incidents. I know of a person that really wanted to see this girl, and he's like, you know, being patient and stuff, and she's like, oh, do you want to meet up in town sometime, you know? And he's like, oh, yeah. So it was like 11:30 at night, and he's in town at the place that she said she'd be. Long story short, she kept saying, where are you, where are you? He was replying back saying, I'm here. She never bothered seeing him. The poor guy was sick as a dog, but because he wanted to see the girl, he made an effort to see her, and long story short, he got home at like 6 in the morning, and she's still like, oh, where are you? How fucking mean is that? This guy literally was puking up his guts when he got home. He passed out when he got to his room, and he was a mess. And she did that to him. And there was another incident with the same girl and the same guy where, you know, she's like, oh, I'm at a friend's house right now. Right? And he's like, oh, alright, do you want to catch up after? She's like, yeah, cool. So he even said he'll pick her up. Long story short, he waited literally I'd say it was about from 8 o'clock to about 1 o'clock. Like, just going around a park, just, you know, walking around, waiting for her. And you know what happened? She stood him up again. So there's two examples where girls can be absolutely cruel and mean. That's mind games at its worst. Emotional blackmail's another thing where the girl will also turn it around on a guy and say, you don't make an effort, you know, why don't you do this, why don't you do that, or can you buy me this, or you're not my friend and stuff. And it's like, oh my god. Like, I know so many guys in the situation where they get cheated on, they get used, they get abused. And you know what the sad thing about it is? Those guys are crying at nights because they think they've done something wrong when they haven't. And I'll tell you something. I had a friend once that I thought was a friend, a female friend, and I was a bit down. You know, I just broke up with my first love, my first fiancée, and she's like, oh, let's go for a drive, we'll catch up. And I thought, as a, you know, a friend, you know, that's great, you know, at least I've got someone to talk to. This is where emotional blackmail comes in. She said, alright, you have to have sex with me now. And I said to her, no, I don't want that. You're dating my nephew, I don't want to do anything. She goes, well, if you don't fuck me, I'll call rape on you. And I was like, well, that's not fair. And she goes, well, stiff shit, in the court of law, if I say you rape me, you won't get away with it. And I'm like, well, that's not fair. I'm not attracted to you. I don't see you like that. And she goes, well, you've got no choice. It's either you do that or I'll call the cops on you. So I had to do it. I was disgusted. I was sick. I didn't like her touching me. I did not enjoy it. It was, you know, people say that girls always get raped. Well, I got raped. And it was the most disgusting feeling. And as soon as I got home, I was sitting in the shower crying for 2 hours. with the soap scrubbing the shit out of myself. In fact, the water was so hot that my whole skin was bright red, and I had bits of me bleeding because I was scrubbing too hard, and I was in that state of shock. Now, long story short, Karma did get that girl back. She's now, I think, got 4 or 5 kids. She has an STD. She's got nothing. She lives off the dole, and she's a single mother with 5 kids. And she's got diseases and stuff. And you know what? I'm so lucky that, you know, I didn't catch anything from that. This girl was just disgusting. And like I said, this is why I don't like trusting people, because when they are supposed to be your friends and they do that to you. Yeah, so that's something I wanted to share with you. The other thing I wanted to share was I was with after my fiance and me broke up, my first love, I dated the wrong sort of girls, and this one girl used me, wanted me to buy her cigarettes, wanted me to buy her alcohol, always wanted me to do this, do that. I knew she was cheating on me, and I kept staying with her. One night we went to her friend's place, and I had to buy the alcohol for her, her friend, and her friend's boyfriend. So we were drinking away and that. I took my eye off the drink for a second, and she literally slipped something into my drink. She left the room, and the other guy left the room, and I was getting dizzy, and I'm like, something's not right here. I think I've just taken something. So I text for help, for my parents to come pick me up, because I knew something was up. And no joke, my head dropped. I was like half paralyzed. I couldn't move any of my body. Her friend decides to climb on top of me and starts making out with me, and I couldn't even stop it because I couldn't even move. She eventually stopped. 10 minutes later, my girlfriend came in, grabbed me by the head, dragged me out to the front of the house, and smashed my head into concrete. So not only they drugged me, but poisoned me. And that's supposed to be someone that's supposed to care about me. Long story short, Karma got her back too. Single mum with 2 kids now, and she's caught something as well. That's so weird that they both caught something. So, at the end of the day, what women do to guys is utter cruel. And, yeah, like if you're in a relationship and it's one person doing everything, that's not a relationship. That's not how it's supposed to be. If you're a girl out there that deliberately targets nice guys like myself and plays mind games, make me to believe that you have a thing for me, and you end up just ditching me to the curb, you need some serious fucking help. Now, I will always say this: women that cheat are fucking dogs, and they should be put into a kennel and locked away so they can't hurt anybody. Women that play mind games and use guys, same sort of category, should be locked away. I don't believe in violence, but some of these women do need their head kicked in. I would never touch a woman, but yeah, I just don't like it. Why women do this to guys, and why guys do it to girls, is just disgusting. I'm not perfect. Unfortunately, in my days when I had my first love, there was altercations where, you know, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. One night, I was so in a bad place, I actually made out with my girlfriend's best friend. This is my first love's best friend. And I don't even like the girl. I don't even know why I did it. So, you know, I say these vids, I do a lot of these kind of vids just to say that, hey, cheating is wrong. Using people is wrong. Lying is definitely wrong. If you can't be honest to your partner, then what the fuck are you dating them for? Nothing should be hidden from your partner. I mean, okay, there's some things that should be. Like, your partner doesn't have to know everything, but if it's a thing that could affect your relationship, then you're supposed to speak out. Now, I know that this will be on YouTube, because this is my YouTube show, but when this goes to Facebook, I know I'm going to get some heat for what I said, because the person that I've talked about in here, the one that, you know, stood that guy up in town, and the one that, you know, did the same thing to him at a park, then she'll probably watch this. And I hope she does, because what she's doing is wrong. See, these girls on Facebook, they put their display photo pics of them showing their boobs, showing their asses, and they do that because they want to lure in guys. And they're all a bunch of cock teasers, basically. They don't want cock, they just want to tease the guy so they can, you know, get lured in and get suckered in. And it's disgusting. So the guy obviously adds them, especially if they're single from the same state and good looking. And that's how the girl gets her way. She wants the guys to, like, you know, write lovely comments on her Facebook wall and 1,000 likes on her pics and stuff. And yeah, it's just attention-seeking whores at the end of the day. If you don't have the decency to respect yourself, then how's anyone else going to respect you? If you're a girl that deliberately shows cleavage and, you know, wants to do that shit, fuck off. And you get angry at guys for commenting on your pics when you're the one that's showing your bum or your boobs. That's ridiculous. It goes to show what kind of person someone is just by looking at their profile pic on Facebook. Oh, and the best ones is when girls say on Facebook, on their profiles, they're single, and you start talking to them, but then suddenly a boyfriend magically appears. Well, hang on a minute. If you're putting single on your profile, then that means all these guys will try to add you and chat you up. So you're doing the wrong thing first. Second thing is, if you're putting single and you are in a relationship, you're a fucking whore. You're a cheater. I mean, why are you putting you're single when you're not? Because you want to lure in guys and you want to play with mind games with them. And straight out, if you're not interested in the guy, why don't add them in the first place? That's the problem with Facebook. You always add guys, and they never end up talking to them. They're just cock teasers at the end of the day. So that's what I wanted to say on that subject. I'll go in deep. Now, people in relationships, this is going back to the cheating subject. Sexually, if one person in the relationship is a sexual person, the other one's not, it's probably not going to work. Because if, say the guy wants sex 3-4 times a day and you're not even giving it to him once every couple of days, then he probably will go elsewhere. If you know your man is into kinky stuff, well, dress kinky and turn him on, set the mood, you know. Like for me, like a girl in a mini skirt and stockings for me is just sexy as fuck, or a short dress or a dress, you know, with stockings or tights or fishnet. That's my thing, you know. And the skinnier the better, because, you know, you can do more with a skinny girl than a bigger girl in the bedroom. If you want to spice something up, do it. Like, hang on. Yeah, so I'm just telling you this because I want to give you some advice on, you know, at the end of the day, if you want your partner to stay with you, make sure that you're doing everything right by them. If you know they don't like something, then don't do it. If you know they don't like burping and farting, don't do it. If you know they don't like a mess, then don't leave a mess. You know, if you know they like certain things, do those certain things. If you know that they're into like the certain types of girls, well, then you got to be that certain type of girl. Like for me, I prefer blondes. So, yeah. But I also prefer skinny girls and stuff. Because the only reason why I don't like bigger girls to date is because I got raped by one, and when I was when I said about, you know, getting drugged, a bigger girl made out with me when I couldn't even move. So that's why I'll never like bigger girls. So thank you for watching Shock the System. The first one was about you know, I don't even remember the first one. I know the second Shock the System was about Pokemon Go and how people just take that game way too serious. So I'll be making a lot of these Shock the System vids. The next one will be about Donald Trump. I think that one's going to get me into a fucking load of shit. I'm not giving anything away, but we've got to talk about the next one. It's going to be about Donald Trump and the whole Kim Jong-il situation. But like I said, I fucking hate cheaters. I fucking hate whores. And most women, if they're like that, I consider them like dogs and they should be locked away. So thank you for watching Shock the System. I hope I shocked you. and stay tuned for Shock the System episode 4 coming soon. Bye.